Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of the Point After Podcast. We are your hosts, Caleb and Jay.
What's going on, man?
Episode 32, man.
Man.
It's going to be a good one, man. We're going to recap the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about, Jimmy Butler is a Golden State Warrior.
Jimmy B is.
Your boy, Deebo Samuel. And then lastly, talking about Aaron Rodgers moving on for the Jets and, what is his potential landing spots? And then lastly, Kellen Moore, should he take that Saints job? Looks like he's going to take it. Who knows? But we'll see. But before we get into it, though, Jay, how you feeling, bro? It was a good weekend for me. How you feeling?
Yeah, no, it was honestly a great weekend too. Got spent time with the family. So that's always great. Shout out to my little brother. It was his birthday.
Hey,
16. Yeah,
16.
16.
That's
16,
crazy,
lover.
bro.
I know I'm hella old, bro. But anyways,
how far are we from getting like the UNC title?
The UNC title for me and you, that's like 7 years away, bro. But that's gonna come up quick. Oh my god, it's terrible. But dog, no, I had a good weekend.
Yeah.
I saw no 3P happen. So that was great to see. Thank the Lord. Oh my god.
Bro, the Eagles won, bro. Come on. They're in the
Hey,
NFC.
all I know is Tom Brady sacrificed his wife and kids to come back from that 28-3 lead. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yo!
Patrick Mahomes, you clearly couldn't sacrifice enough. You know what I'm saying? But I want to get straight into it, man. This game was, what's the word? Surprising? Would you surprising the outcome of this, of what happened, considering who we even picked?
Almighty Patrick Mahomes, man. You want me to take the first stab at it, man?
I honestly do.
You want to go?
I honestly do. I mean, I just want to say that shout out the Eagles defense, dog. The Eagles defense was just top tier. I mean, they've been top tier all year, but just yesterday they were just on 10. They were up there. So yes, Jalen Hurts played well and he got the MVP, much deserved. But that defense, they did something no one else could do besides the Bucs.
Dude, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Shout out to the one and only Jalen Hurts. I think now, look, we might have to have some discussions. Jalen Hurts, top 5 quarterback. I mean, we're definitely, he's entered that stratosphere. Look, it was
for sure
this game, bro. It was a complete domination from beginning to end. I mean, the announcers were talking about it, and I've heard people talk about it on some like podcasts and videos as well. This Chiefs loss and the way it looks is reminiscent to they played against the Buccaneers a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
How the Buccaneers just basically just beat the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And this Chiefs offensive line just got absolutely destroyed. The front four of this Eagles front four, they were just dominant. Vic Fangio called an incredible game. It was a masterclass, bro. Like they basically rushed with 4. They didn't bring a lot of blitz. They didn't really bring any blitz coverage.
No. They didn't blitz at all. They rushed for the whole game.
It was dominant, bro. Jalen Carter, Milton Williams,
Mason Graham.
Jordan Davis. You said who?
Mason Graham.
Brandon Graham.
Brandon Graham, sorry.
Yeah, Mason Graham. He might be a Raider. Mason Graham might be a Raider.
Hold on, I'm thinking about the draft a little too much right now.
I feel you. Yeah, Brandon Graham, he was good. Nolan Smith, Zach Bond. We can go Cooper DeJean, Blankenship, Quinyon Mitchell. Shout out to Darius Slay.
That whole
still
defense.
Playing at a high level. I mean, they had Mahomes in hell the whole game. And for me, the game was over for me when he threw that pick 6. When Cooper DeJean got that pick 6, it was like I didn't want to count on Patrick Mahomes because it's Patrick Mahomes, but I was like, bro.
No, but you kind of like saw like the full momentum shift to be like completely one way. Like the defense was gonna have it their way the whole game.
And shout out to Josh Sweat too, who probably Josh Sweat and Milton Williams are 2 of those guys are probably not going to be back. They're going to have to replace those guys.
Josh Sweat is going to go somewhere for some money, and I advise if the Niners can't get Myles Garrett in some way, y'all better go ahead and go get Josh Sweat, man.
Bro, come on, bro.
Hey.
But look, in all seriousness, you look at the Chiefs. I thought their game plan was perfect. They stacked the box and they said, Saquon Barkley, you're not going to beat us. It's going to have to be Jalen Hurts.
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts played well. Didn't make any really. He threw the interception, but it was kind of like a punt. It was
That
like
was
it
an
had
wrong
them
punt.
pinned back deep in near their own end zone when the Chiefs got the possession. I mean, 17 for 22, 200 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 carries, 72 yards. Jalen Hurts was good, man. And these last 2 Super Bowls he's played in, he's been great. Now, obviously, they lost the last time they played against Kansas City,
True.
but you can't blame it on Jalen Hurts. Like, Jalen Hurts has been solid, bro. And what did I say? And I said going to this game and throughout the entire playoffs, it's kind of been the same story. The team that has taken care of the ball, the team that has dominated in the trenches has won these games. The Chiefs turned the ball over. Mahomes, those 2 interceptions were inexcusable. A pick six,
They were
the
terrible.
interception he threw to, or who was
It
it?
was
To was it?
to Zach Bond.
No, it was Zach Bond. But like, who was he looking for? Was it Kelsey? Or it was
The
or was
second
it
one,
Hollywood?
the second one was Kelsey.
It
First
was.
one,
Yeah, I don't know, but
first
I'm
I
saying
thought no, I
both
don't know.
both those interceptions were costly, like inexcusable. And again, it's just you don't really see it from Patrick Mahomes, and he couldn't be Superman today because the Eagles just from top to bottom, they're just a better football team. And I think people knew coming into this game that the Eagles were better, but people just had blind faith because it's Patrick Mahomes. But
Mhm.
Mahomes talked about it post game. He has to get better, and this Chiefs team has to get better. Specifically, the 2 tackles. I mean, Jawan Taylor, pack your bags, buddy. You're headed to Taiwan. The second round pick they drafted, I forgot how to pronounce his name. Samanala. I don't. Fuck. I'm sorry, mispronounced your name, buddy.
Hey,
But he was god awful. He got benched throughout the entire year. They moved Joe Tooney, their All Pro guard, out to tackle. That's how bad it was. And Joe Tooney, he's great, but he's not a tackle. And he got
right.
exposed yesterday because that's not his natural position. So they're gonna have to make some decisions. They might lose Trey Smith in free agency. He's gonna get a lot of money, and there's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot of suitors for him.
Hmm.
And they missed Rashee Rice in a big way. They
Yeah,
missed that presence, a guy
for
who
sure.
just creates separation, can get open, great hands. And Travis Kelsey, man, it was sad, bro. That was bad.
I
He looked
mean,
old. He looked old
no,
yesterday,
no, no.
bro.
Yeah, Kelsey just couldn't get open, and that's on a fired up defense. That's on a top tier defense, probably number one throughout the whole year, in my opinion.
Oh, no question. No question.
But that front four just
Bro.
completely obliterated Mahomes. And here's my thing, and this is why I love Jalen Carter, is because yes, he got flagged for that shot he took at Mahomes, but you take a shot at Mahomes. That's the thing. You take those shots. And guess what? It led to a fumble, and they still got the ball back with a little penalty. So that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do to the Chiefs. I'm surprised that wasn't a flag, by the way. Like flag, like on top of like calling it back from a fumble.
Look, in all seriousness, though, I'm kind of happy now that we can kind of put to bed that Mahomes and the Chiefs get all the calls. Because let's be honest, bro. The Chiefs didn't really get outside of that one early in the game with AJ Brown and McDuffie, that was Mickey Mouse. There's no question.
I feel like it's on purpose though, because of the
No
talk.
doubt. But can we dead now that the Chiefs get a okay? Look, bro. The best teams are gonna get the favorable whistle because they're the best teams. People want to see them because they're great. Like they're gonna get a favorable whistle. That's how sports has worked. Like that's just what it is. You don't think when the Warriors were on their dynasty runs, like they weren't getting favorable calls? Of course they were. That's part of the game. And look today. That one on with Jalen Carter, that's clearly roughing the passer. Unnecessary roughness, Jalen Carter. They didn't call it. So look, let's dead it, bro. The Eagles were the better team, no doubt, from top to bottom, and we exposed the Chiefs. But let's dead this whole referee theory, bro. Come on, man.
I'm not deading it just yet. Nah, I'm gonna
Oh
disagree
my
with you, man.
God, bro.
There's just
Man.
too many. There's too many calls of evidence to where it's finicky and touchy calls. Yes, I agree with you in that one instant play with Jalen Carter. Absolutely roughing the passer. Absolutely. But if you take any other play where Mahomes is flopping on the sideline, that's not no flag, is it? I'm sorry. That's not no flag. I'm sorry. But of course, the better team, the bigger teams, the more well-known teams are going to get favorable calls. That is, of course, Niners got that throughout the playoffs all the time. I'm not going to disagree with you. But to sit here and pretend like Mahomes doesn't get favorable calls, come on, bro. Don't act like you don't hate this dude and you're in the same division as it. Come on, Caleb.
Look, bro, I'm a Raider fan, but at the same time, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck here, bro. Patrick Mahomes is my favorite footballer. How can you not be? How can you not be a fan of Mahomes, bro? How can you not be, bro? He's exciting. Look at the plays he makes. Look, bro. But look, I call a spade a spade. There's no doubt the Chiefs they get some favorable calls, but a lot of great, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Can we go back to when New England, the tuck rule, bro? Okay, come on. The tuck rule, Tom Brady. People seem to forgot about that. That is one of the worst fucking calls in NFL history, bro. And that fucking
one call.
The tuck rule, bro. Has there ever been another fucking tuck rule? Like, what the fuck is that? Come on, bro. Like this whole notion that the Chiefs are the only team ever to get favorable whistles, bro. We need to dead that shit, bro. Because they've had a lot of success. New England would get favorable calls, bro. It is. Bro, go back and watch the games, bro.
Go back and watch Tom Brady take absolute licks with no call.
Okay.
Like Mahomes ain't. Like Mahomes didn't get every single call when he took licks.
He was getting smacked too.
One call, Caleb. One call.
Okay.
One. Come on, bro.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. If the Chiefs are getting all these favorable calls, do you believe that they are that good, or do you think the refs just they say them? What do you think?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, were the Chiefs were they really really that good this year? Because they had a lot of one-score games, a lot of close games this year. Do you feel like a lot of those games, were bailed out by referees?
Yes. And in some games, you can interpret Mahomes absolutely carrying the team on his back and winning the games, absolutely. But you can't just disregard him getting favorable calls at the end of the games like they always do. Come on, bro. Especially when they got exposed by an actual better team and the refs weren't on their side all game. You saw the outcome.
Okay, yeah. Look, I'm not gonna be here and defend the Kansas City Chiefs because I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I call it spade a spade. Bro, as a Raider fan, bro, I saw that when they go back when it was the Raiders against the Cowboys, bro, when they brought out the no card, they brought out a no card, bro, to decide if it was a first down or a turnover. A fucking no card. When have you ever seen a referee bring out a no card to make sure if the distance is good enough for them to get a first down, bro? I know what it's like to get cheated, bro. I know what it is, bro. All the Chiefs, the calls they've gotten doesn't come close to what the Raiders have fucking experienced ever, bro.
Sure. So but I'm just not gonna ignore the lead up to them getting to the Super Bowl has been very favorable to the three-peat moniker. Can't lie. I just can't.
That's true, but while we were talking though, I was kind of looking at some of the free agents that like I said, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Brandon Graham, who'll probably come back on like a cheap deal. Mekhi Becton is an interesting one because Mekhi Becton played really well for them this year. He moved into guard. Obviously, he didn't work out with the Jets because
much better at guard than tackle.
Yeah, and I think the reason why is because obviously he was a high draft pick by the Jets, but he had a lot of injuries when he was there. He was injury prone, and he didn't look really like right whenever he played there. So he clearly then playing alongside Lane Johnson, one of the best offensive linemen in football, and I think it helped him. But I think Mekhi Becton could probably be a loss for this team. We'll see how they kind of figure that out. But
yeah,
the Chiefs, man, they got to address some things
for sure. That wide receiver room needs to be adjusted a little bit.
A little bit. I think their key thing is they need to draft another tight end, so they have another guy who can come after Kelsey, and they have to draft a running back or find one in free agency.
Yeah, because Pacheco is still working himself back. He doesn't look the same whatsoever. Kareem Hunt
he's old.
He's old. It's simple as that. Like he came in for the first few games, looked how he looked, and he tapered just like anybody at that age would. You know what I mean? So you need a definite adjustment there, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go with your Ohio State boy.
Yeah, Junkins.
Late in that round.
Henderson,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Henderson too. Henderson's good too.
Mm-hmm.
But Hunt was good in the AFC Championship game. But yeah, bro, the Chiefs. I think you just saw a talent discrepancy, bro. Like outside of the quarterback, the Eagles are better in pretty much all phases of the game.
Exactly.
Period.
That O-line is top tier, and I think they listed it like everyone on that O-line is like 6'6" and above, like at least averaging out like over 300 pounds. Dude, that is not saying that's all that matters in the O-line, but they built that O-line to protect their quarterback. And obviously, you see the success. So to all the NFL teams, you know where you need to put your money at.
And by the way, Xavier Worthy had like the quietest 157-yard 2-touchdown game because it came in like garbage time. The game was pretty much over.
Hold on, dog. We didn't even talk about this. Saquon, I knew this was going to happen too. Saquon's off night. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was going to either be like the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. He was going to be on or off. I could just, I saw him nervous before the game. He's in the interview. He's swaying. This is no disrespect to Saquon, by the way. He was swaying. You could tell like the pressure was there for him. I don't know if that had an effect or anything, but it definitely showed through, man. He wasn't getting as much as production, but like you said, Spags, he did, he stacked the box, he did well with what he could do. He had a great game plan coming into the game, but unfortunately they couldn't adjust to Jalen Hurts in that passing game.
Jalen Hurts made plays, and AJ Brown physically, he was just too much for Trent McDuffie.
Shout out to Devontae Smith. Shout out.
Yeah, he was great tonight too. That touchdown he caught, Jalen Hurts, that deep ball he threw, that was perfect.
Beautiful.
McDuffie's great, but he physically he just couldn't do nothing with AJ Brown. He couldn't. And
AJ Brown's too big, too physical.
Yeah, like he couldn't. And then Justin Watson or Jalen Watson. Justin Watson, the tight end. Yeah, Jalen Watson. He was he was getting roasted. I just think you look at this game as a whole, man. The Chiefs basically they sold out to stop Saquon, but Mahomes made costly turnovers, and Hurts didn't wreck the ship.
Yeah, no, Hurts didn't wreck the ship. Hurts did what he was supposed to do. And also, I don't know if you noticed in this game, he used his legs a lot more. And I think that was obviously a reason because of Saquon not producing as much. Jalen took it upon himself to, get a few first downs plus. So shout out Jalen Hurts, man. I've been very disrespectful towards his play. I'm not going to sit here and lie. So, he proved me wrong, and he's one of those guys. So I'll be the first to say that.
Just to cap it off, my last point about the Eagles, man. Look how last year finished for them. They were 10-1 at one point, and I believe they lost 6 straight to end the season. They finished terribly, and they lost to the Buccaneers in the first round.
Yep.
Kelsey walked away. Fletcher Cox walked away. They had to figure out this team, and Howie Roseman, who I believe right now is arguably the second best GM in all of football.
For sure.
Look at what they did in the offseason.
I'm sorry. The way they built their O-line just tells me enough. They know where the attention needs to go to.
Like if it wasn't for Brett Veach and what they built in Kansas City, Howie Roseman would be the best GM in football. Mm-hmm. Like their coordinators last year were god awful. They replaced them. They brought in Kellen Moore, who we're going to talk about in a little bit here.
Kept Sirianni. Everyone's clamoring to fire him.
Yeah. And they brought in Vic Fangio, one of the best defensive coordinators of all time.
Shout out.
And they drafted Cooper DeJean. They drafted Quinyon Mitchell. They signed Saquon Barkley.
Zach Bond has been a top 5.
Zach Bond, who, barely played for the Saints, was on special teams and as an all-pro in his first year.
Saints, big mistake there, Saints. Aints.
Yeah, it was just an incredible offseason, man, for this team. And how the draft, how they've drafted these last few years. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, obviously Devontae Smith. They traded for AJ Brown, drafted Dallas Goedert, some years ago.
Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, just said. Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell, drafted Nakobe Dean.
You're listing so many, I forgot. God.
For real, man. They've just had a hell of a draft.
They built the team from ground up. Serious.
Yeah, man. And Nick Sirianni, bro. It's 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. He has a Super Bowl ring now. Nick Sirianni needs a respect. He's one of those top tier coaches, man.
And you see like how fans and everyone likes to give their little 2 cents in, including us, like we do. But you see AJ a little bit frustrated with Sirianni on the sidelines, and there's always going to be tension. And then people are going to automatically assume, oh, he's not good for the team. This is why, you know, they lose and da 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 da. But it's just natural tension. And I think throughout the regular season, I feel like the outside perspective, that's what everyone was worried about the Eagles. Drama, the whole book situation with AJ Brown. Look what it turned out. A goddamn ring. Because guess what? In reality, like, families fight. So guess what? Teams gonna fight too.
Yeah, and I forgot one thing too to bring up real quick with the Chiefs is Matt Nagy has been the offensive coordinator these last few years. It might be time for them to make a move there, and I
Yeah,
get it.
I think the book is out on Matt Nagy.
Yeah, and I understand the personnel hasn't been at its best the last few years. They were able to win a Super Bowl last year, and they were going for 3 this year. But the offense as a whole, it's just it feels a little stale to me. Just when you watch Kansas City at times, and I think they're gonna have to do what the Eagles did in the offseason too. They're gonna have to go look for a legit offensive coordinator. I don't know who's gonna be out there because it seems like all the best now are gone or staying with their teams. But I think Matt Nagy, they might have to move on from him.
Yeah, I think so. But I ain't got nothing else on this topic, man. You want to ready to trudge on and move on?
Let's get it, man. Mahomes,
eat this, buddy. Jalen Hurts, salute. Saquon, salute. AJ Brown, salute.
Bro was praying for this day, bro. Bro was praying for this.
I might have sacrificed. No, I'm just kidding. We not the Chiefs around here, okay? We is not the Chiefs. I'm not no Tom Brady, okay? So let's keep it clean over here.
40-22 though.
Damn. Jesus Christ. No. But the way don't act like he wasn't sitting there like I was. No, don't act like he wasn't sitting there like I was just enjoying. And I was like, this is
wait, hold on. So as a Niner fan, you'd rather see the Chiefs lose than the Eagles? Really?
Honestly,
they're the NFC.
Well, yeah, but the way the Chiefs
Mahomes because they beat y'all twice.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's exactly why, dog. You would feel the same way if it was the Raiders in the AFC Championship, which y'all have gone nowhere near. Oh yeah. Anyways, moving on to the NBA before he gets his feelings hurt. Jimmy Butler traded to the Golden State Warriors. Played his first game. Caleb, do you want to list out the full trade?
Yeah, Jimmy Butler going to Golden State. Miami gets Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker, protected 2025, top 10 first round pick. Detroit getting Lindy Waters, Josh Richardson, a second round pick. Utah originally were going to get Dennis Schroeder in a second round pick, but now Dennis Schroeder is actually going to Detroit, which actually is a good pickup for Detroit. Since losing Jaden Ivey, they needed
Dennis Schroeder
another orchestrator.
Passed around.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. That comment too he made about the NBA was being slavery and stuff. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but Detroit needed another point guard. That's all I'm going to say about that. So,
the way NBA players get paid, they need to.
I'm not going to speak on that, bro. I'm not going to get into nobody's pockets. All I'm going to say is he said what he said. That's all I got to say.
All right, Doug. I honestly think this is a good move. Honestly, for the Warriors. I mean, I think it was the last move they could have possibly done besides Vucevic, even if that trade is even going to go through now in any type of possibility. But KD was clearly off the table. Clearly didn't want to go back. I'm surprised. I'm honestly not surprised. But when is Draymond gonna get off this team? I mean, I feel like he seems to be the I don't want to say parasite. I feel like he's just the itch there that prevents other stars from going there. And honestly, I feel like Jimmy took a risk because there's going to be only so much tension, just in my opinion. But we saw it. You know, Jimmy played against former XX team, the Bulls. 25 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, with the help of Curry, bringing the team back by Bulls had a real bad lead on him, right?
Yeah, it was 59-83.
Yeah, it was real bad. And Curry.
I was like, well. Remember this Dave Blue went? It went pretty good.
Yeah, that went great. Oh God, yeah, but the Bulls sold it. Curry came back along with Butler, and
he was
didn't look too bad. I think the consensus here with Jimmy is if you could stay consistent. I think new scenery, you have your money. You Jimmy doesn't really have any excuses here. I mean, you just have to produce at this point and make a push for the playoffs. I feel like that's the only outcome for Jimmy Butler being on this team.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know when you're gonna get out of Jimmy Butler when he's right. And no disrespect to Andrew Wiggins, a champion, a really good, solid player, two-way guy, two-way wigs.
Just too inconsistent. That's what's his issue.
The big thing for me is not necessarily the consistency. Well, it's a part of it, but
it's a part.
Jimmy Butler is just a better basketball player than Andrew Wiggins at their best. It's not a discussion. Respectfully, Jimmy Butler is just a better basketball player.
That's what it is.
Saw the Warriors were down big against the Chicago Bulls. We started that run. Yes, everyone got caught up in Curry, and it was incredible what he did in that third quarter. It was vintage Curry.
Vintage.
Jimmy Butler started that run, though. What did he do? They started going inside. They got foul calls. He had 13 free throw attempts.
That's right. 13 free throws, only missed 2.
Only missed 2. He had 25 points, but the Warriors have been missing a guy that when things are not going well or when the game is kind of fluctuating in the bounce, they struggle to have had a guy to say, hey, give you the ball, slow the game down, gives you in the low post or mid post, and get us a bucket or get to the free throw line. Because of Steph Curry, it's basically been, hey, Steph Curry, get us out of trouble, hit a few crazy shots.
It's here, Curry. Do your job. Here.
Now they have another guy instead of Curry where they can give him the ball and get him a basket. And once they started to get the Bulls in foul trouble, it was Vucevic, then it was Ayo DeSumo. Once they got those two in foul trouble, it slowed down. The Warriors started to get slowly back in the game, and then Curry just went off. It started with Jimmy Butler, man, and I think that's exactly the player they needed. They just needed another guy who can take a lot of the pressure and responsibility off Steph. Yeah, and they play the Bucks tonight without Giannis, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, Dame might go crazy against the Warriors. Who knows how that shit's gonna play out? But
we don't know how Dame's gonna do. So,
but definitely the Warriors, they needed this. They needed another guy.
They absolutely
that could just take the pressure off of Steph.
Yeah, and I think even on top of this, maybe they could add on a center. Quinn Post isn't bad. He's
young Vooch
shooter. That's right. And an actual 7-footer, Caleb. I remember last time they had that was Zaza and Bogut. But this has been a problem for the Warriors. It's been another type of scorer, another type of outlet, and also rebounding. It's just always been a non-issue. I mean, always been non-issue. Always been an issue with the Golden State Warriors. So I just feel like, yes, you did one part of 2. I feel like you just need to add. They just need to add Vucevic. I'm just gonna say it, outlier.
Well, the trade deadline is passed, so they won't be able to add Vucevic. Unless the Bulls would just buy him out, but they're not going to do that at this point. And I think Vucevic, one of the people who reports on the Bulls, I believe his name is Casey Johnson. He said that they expect Vucevic to be there for the rest of the season. So I think with the Warriors, when Kuminga comes back and he's healthy, expect to be back after the All-Star break. I think a starting lineup of Steph, Jimmy Butler, Kuminga, Draymond, and Post. I think you have to start Quentin Post because his ability to space the floor.
For sure.
It was 3 episodes we went without an ad, bro. It happened. It is what it is. But yeah, I just think if you're gonna start Kuminga, Jimmy, and Draymond together, I think you're gonna need that floor spacer with Post. Yes. I don't think you can start necessarily Looney because I think with Looney it would get just too clogged in the interior.
It would.
Too clogged out on the floor. So yeah, I think they start Quentin Post. Look, they're gonna be an interesting team, man. If they can stay healthy, I don't know about championship contender, but
8th seed possibly. We'll see.
They could be a team that could sneak up on people, and it's interesting now. Now the Warriors are now interesting. Before this trade, they were kind of like
they were tapering off to irrelevance.
They're interesting now.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, it's good to see, and it's good to see Curry get some goddamn help. It's okay.
Is that your God, your Almighty, your Savior?
I mean, I got the first freaking pair of his shoes. I think the first 2. But yeah, big fan, man. I think I remember going to the game, seeing the mascot in there, the old mascot for the Warriors.
Bro,
yeah, dude.
Was it like a dude?
That's why
he had like a
he had a lightning bolt.
A lightning bolt on his head. Yeah, I remember that.
I forgot. He had a name too, but I forgot. But
Yeah,
yeah,
was
man.
crazy.
No,
That's crazy.
it's just good to see my boy Curry get some help. All-time favorite player, all-time Glaze. I'm up there with Flight. Yeah. Next topic. I was waiting for this one. Let's go switch back to the NFL though.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Let's switch it, bro, because that was kind of wild.
And you know what? You relax over there, right?
Okay.
Anyways, Deebo Samuel request a trade. He's my boy. Okay.
I've been waiting for this.
Never. I was about to say it's been a minute since Caleb got a Niner rant on the podcast. But Deebo Samuel requests a trade. He makes the Niners' life easy because I think the general consensus of Niner fans and everyone was feeling like Deebo needed to go. This man is washed. I don't even know that that's the right word because he's not even old like that. Let's just say trash now. He's just trash. So, Caleb, I want to give you an example of how well this dude tapered off the face of the planet Earth. In 2021, his best season, keep in mind, 77 catches, 1,400 yards, 6 passing touchdowns, 6 catching touchdowns, 59 carries, this is rushing, 365 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. The 8 rushing touchdowns is what got him most of his money because a lot of those yards were yak. Let's be real here. A lot of those yards were yak, and that's where he produces the most. Let's be real. Okay, great season. You get your money. Before you get your money, all you do is cry and bitch on Twitter, and all you do is change your profile and make it the most difficult thing for the Niners. We didn't even have to extend you. We didn't have to give you that contract. You go out and do that. Real diva. In 2022, this is keep in mind, Caleb, this is after he got his contract. All that money he wanted, all what he clamored for, all what he bitched about on Twitter. 56 catches, 632 yards, 2 touchdowns. 42 carries, 232 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. He's a fucking disgrace. 2023, he wants to come back, and keep in mind this is where he said, "Oh, I lost my belly. Oh, I'm in good off-season shape this season." Okay, Deebo, so we're gonna kind of expect the same or maybe even close to 2021. He did fairly better. I will say, I'm gonna give him credit. He did fairly better, but it was still shit. 60 catches, 892 yards, 7 touchdowns, 37 carries, 225 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. Where he got paid his most money was for his dual threat. And as you can consistently see, he's gotten worse and worse and worse. And then that brings me on to this year. 51 catches, 670 yards, and 3 touchdowns with the Brock Purdy. Hold on. 42 carries, 136 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. So the same amount of carries you got in 2022, you couldn't even match or better your 232 yards or your 3 touchdowns. Get the fuck off the team. I'm glad you requested a trade. You are just a diva. Go take that toxic shit elsewhere. Go take that I'm a all me type of player. Go take that shit elsewhere. You ain't no captain, for one. And I love how Deebo likes to say nobody's got an opinion. He don't like people talking on his name. Oh, I love we talk on your name, sir. You're just trash at this point. Your value is a 3rd round pick, maybe even 4th. I don't even know if the Niners are going to get anything for you, but we just want that nasty ass contract off our books. You had to restructure because you were asked too. Bad hands, bad route running, takes plays off. You can see it on film. Terrible attitude. We obviously seen that in contract talk. So smart move all the way around. I'm glad this idiot's off the team. Gonna get off the team. I rest my case.
Bro, the facial expressions I made on my face are all time, bro. There's nothing really much to say. This is your guy. This is your team.
My guy. Okay.
And it's an end of an era.
That's a short era. Just like his prime, it lasted a year.
Well, moving on.
I do
Since
want to ask you a question.
What's up, bro?
What's his trade value?
Oh, it's low. A third? You said, wait, hold on. A third round pick?
Third or
Nah,
fourth?
you're not getting a third. You might get a fourth or fifth because Deebo is different. He's not a natural wide receiver. You know, he's a running back / wide receiver / gadget player. He does a lot of different things. So
I mean,
maybe fourth at best.
I mean, it's just where did the fall come from? How do you go from averaging 6.2 yards per carry to averaging 3.2?
Well, the durability I think has played a part.
Durability is his significant problem, to be out of shape all the time. That's accustomed to Deebo. He's out of shape. That leads to injuries, and he's always injured mid-season.
And the thing too with Deebo is that, you know, I think what separates the good from the great players is that, you know, like your first 4 years when you're able to excel, it's great. But you know, eventually teams are going to start getting tape on you, and they're going to watch what you do well, what you don't do, what you don't do good,
your tendencies,
right? And I just think teams now have kind of figured out Deebo a little bit in this offense. So, you know, maybe he can reinvent himself a little bit if he goes somewhere else. And that's maybe what he needs. Maybe he just needs to change the scenery.
We'll see.
To restart himself. But yeah.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel, man.
Yeah.
Over.
Get off. Juwan Jennings is better than you, buddy.
Well, moving on. Aaron Rodgers says bye-bye to the Jets. Actually, the Jets kind of say bye-bye.
Another washed-up bum.
Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets are finished. It was. I'm going to go down and say this. This is one of the all-time failures in franchise history. For a team that had Super Bowl inspirations.
came out with a national American flag, and he got hurt, and then he's asked the next
bro, you're out of pocket, bro. Bro, you're out of pocket, dog. Come on, bro.
Bro, it's just pathetic. It's like you talk all this hype, and then you go do a Netflix documentary doing all this voodoo, and then look what happens. 48 QBR, Caleb.
It's bad, man. If you look at Aaron Rodgers' numbers as a whole, they're not terrible. They're actually pretty decent, but
a lot of it's late season garbage bull crap.
I just think,
yes,
eye test wise, Aaron Rodgers wasn't good. Like he was, I would say, average at best. You know, if I want to be nice. And again, I respect Aaron Rodgers because growing up, he was one of my favorite players. He was my guy. You know,
he was off a perk.
He was, bro. Prime Aaron Rodgers, I put him up with pretty much anybody. Prime Aaron Rodgers, bro. But it's over, man. He's 41 now. It's
God, just go enjoy life at this point.
I mean, I guess if he's in a Detroit Lions situation or if he's in Philadelphia where they have all these weapons in this line, he could succeed. But Aaron Rodgers, there's no question. The Achilles injury, his mobility is nearly shot, and he's no longer a quarterback at this stage where he can carry a team with not the right parts. So
the league is built on mobile quarterbacks now.
Yeah, it's a shame, but hey, it happens to everybody. It happens to everyone. You get old, and it is what it is. Like I said, if he goes to the right situation, he might be able to play well. But I think the days of Aaron Rodgers being that elite guy, it's been over. It's done. It's done. But I'm interested to see though what happens with Devontae Adams. You know, his running mate, his guy. You know,
I wonder. He might just follow him wherever he goes.
I don't know, man. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers, so that goes to my next point, right? There's 5 teams that are going to be rumored in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. One is the Saints, which it's not going to happen.
The Aints.
Number 2, the Colts. Number 2, the Colts. 3 Seahawks. 4 Raiders. 5 Steelers. Out of all those teams, the Seahawks is interesting, but I think they're going to stick with Geno Smith, and I stick with Geno because I think Geno at this point, bro, I would take Geno right now over Aaron Rodgers. Respectfully.
Okay. They're wasting years on Geno.
Bro, stop hating on Geno Smith, bro. Come on, man. He's a decent quarterback.
Decent can get you so far.
But one thing to talk about, the Saints, I just don't see it happening. The cap hell that they're in. That team, no. I think the Saints need to go on a complete rebuild. They have an aging roster. No, I don't see the Saints. The Colts, possibly, but I don't know. You drafted Anthony Richardson. Yes, his start to his career has not been good at all.
It's been a freaking terrible start.
Disappointing. Definitely disappointing.
Yeah,
but
100%.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the right move. Like I said, Seattle, the roster is solid. I think that's interesting. Steelers, because of Mike Tomlin and, that culture over there, maybe with the stability. I think Steelers and Seahawks are realistic. I do not want to see him in the Raiders. Please, no. No. I do not want to see that. Absolutely not. Again, I respect you, Aaron Rodgers, but no. At 41, no. At 31, yeah.
You would take Sam Darnold over Aaron Rodgers right now?
Yes. In a heartbeat. Yes.
Okay, so who would you take over Sam Darnold right now?
Like as a free agency quarterback or like in the league, period?
Whoever. Well, free agency too.
Yeah, well, I mean, the free agency quarterbacks are probably maybe Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston. I mean, Sam Darnold's better than all those guys.
Jameis got a great attitude though.
Now Jameis. Hey,
I love Jameis. Bro.
His Super Bowl coverage is hilarious, bro. I fuck with Jameis. Is a good dude though, bro. He is a good dude, respectful. Yeah. But Sam Darnold, no question, is the number one quarterback in this class. I think Justin Fields is intriguing because of his dual threat ability and the fact that he's still super young.
You can sign him on a cheaper deal too.
Yeah, but I mean, now it's a Raider topic. Since with Pete Carroll now at 73, I think the Raiders are in win now mode. I think they're gonna try to just put the draft, the free agency. I think they're gonna try to compete this year. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
All on Sammy D for the win.
Clearly showed this year if he is in a system where there's talented players around him, he can excel.
Cool. So with all those talented players around him, what do you do in the playoffs?
I get it. He wasn't good, but it's like, okay. Would you rather go with Sam Darnold or Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, no, I'm taking Sam
Darnold or Aaron Rodgers. Like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah. If I'm y'all, I'm trading up in the draft. I'm sorry, y'all need a young quarterback.
Now, that's obviously my dream. If we can get a Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, but that doesn't look realistic. So,
Cam Ward would fit for y'all. I'm just sorry. I just feel bad. I just feel bad for y'all.
Aaron Rodgers, Jets. They went from Super Bowl aspirations. They're gonna be this great team to just all-time flop, bro. All time.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson might stay though. He might stay with the Jets.
It was a complete joke, but I see Garrett Wilson leaving.
That'd be crazy, bro.
I see Garrett Wilson leaving, dude. I really do. Because, like Myles Garrett, how long are you gonna waste your career at a spot that's never gonna improve?
Myles Garrett is a little different because he's been there for quite a while. Garrett, this is what?
Garrett could get ahead of the train, dog. Especially with let's see who they bring in next, and then I'll be like, Garrett, you need to get out of there. You can stay.
Tough.
It's just a tough situation. I just feel like some guys just waste their careers for this crap team. But moving on.
Last one of the show, man.
I have a question.
What's your question, bro?
Should Kellen Moore take the Saints job?
So, as you know, what team is my pop support?
Well, champ, the Aints.
The Aints. He's a Saints fan.
They don't even know what they're doing at quarterback right now.
I might have to get him on the pod if we do some Saints topics, bro. Because
what's funny? I don't. A team doesn't scream irrelevant more than the Saints. They just haven't been irrelevant since Drew Brees, and then when what's his name, Michael Thomas got hurt.
Yeah, Michael Thomas. That's
the
biggest.
I just don't remember.
Like crazy, like
yeah, slant God. Yeah, I just don't recall caring about the Saints ever. I'm just saying, it's just interesting.
If I'm Kellen Moore, it's hard to turn down a head coaching job because you never know if you're ever going to get this kind of opportunity again. You never know what can happen.
It's the money as well.
The money you're going to be offered. I mean, you have a chance to be the head coach in the NFL. You know what I mean? And from the outside looking in, I wouldn't necessarily take it, but I just think Kellen Moore is looking at it like, hey, I have a head coaching job, and plus he's going to division. Let's be honest. You know what is it, the NFC South? And I think it's NFC South. The Saints, yeah, okay. NFC South. The Saints, the Buccaneers, the Panthers, and then I'm blanking. Oh, Atlanta Falcons. You look at that division, it's not a world beater. It's not like it's a super gauntlet division. So, and plus, in a few years' time, there's going to be a chance to where you can really build a team and get all these older contracts off the books. So, I think this is definitely, if Kellen Moore takes his job, I think he's looking at definitely in the future with this team. But Saints are in cap hell, man. So there's definitely, I think if Kellen Moore takes his job, there is definitely some reassurances from the front office that there's going to be big changes moving forward in that franchise.
I mean, they need to. They need to. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback, clearly.
Derek Carr, man.
Fall from grace. Jesus. Another fall from grace.
Yes.
And then their wide receiver room is questionable, injury prone to say the least. I mean, Chris Olave can. I mean, he has to question how he. Yeah, he just has to question how he plays. I mean, it just sucks how his career just turned out quick. That those concussions early on really set him back, I feel like. So I feel like there's just a lot of adjustments needed in the Saints, and I feel like maybe Kellen Moore could add something to an offensive coach, offensive, guru, former Boise State boy. Shout out Kellen Moore for that. But
he was good at Boise State, bro.
He really was. I hated watching their games though. That might make my eyes hurt. But at the end of the day, Saints need a new direction. And I think Kellen Moore could get him on that. Maybe go a different direction at quarterback, make a few adjustments on that line. Definitely needs attention on that defense. So we'll see what they do. And they're in a terrible division. So I feel like this could be not an easy adjustment, but an adjustment to take the division back, because they really did control that division for a while.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt Kellen Moore has had success as an OC going back to when he first started with the Cowboys in 2019. They were first in total yards. In 2021, they also had an offense that led the league in points per game and yards as well. And his tenure with the Chargers was, I wouldn't say disappointing. It was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
That Chargers team didn't have the most talent on the roster. Let's be real.
No wide receivers.
And it comes to the Eagles, and obviously, look, the Eagles this season, they were ranked, 8th in total offense. And then they set a franchise record for rushing yards in a season. So, I mean, Kellen Moore, clearly he's shown you that when he has the right personnel, when he has talent on an offensive side of the ball, they'd be pretty good. Remember those Cowboys teams with Amari Cooper? And
he could definitely better, Kamara's game. I feel like with whatever he could draw up, whatever he could dice up for him. I feel like Kamara could, open up something new for himself.
Yeah, I think Kellen Moore, he's one of those young, innovative, he's an offensive mind that a lot of these NFL organizations, it's in kind of the new wave now. I just think he takes the same job. There's going to have to be reassurance because this roster as a whole is not good. It's
at all.
Their best are, I won't say best, but like they're well-known players. They're all old. Cameron Jordan's old. Tyron, DeMario, Kamara. Olave is their best piece, but again, he's had injury concerns. So
and it's a head one, which is like career-ending type concerning. So it need to be careful with Olave. They need to stop there. A lot of those were hospital balls. I am not gonna sit here and lie. I'm not.
Yeah, and they might lose Ramczyk. I saw some reports that Ryan Ramczyk, the right tackle, might retire. And he's had a lot of injuries in recent years, and that's just funny because when Ryan Ramczyk first came in the league, bro, he was like an All-Pro, like from the jump at right tackle. Him and Armstead were one of the better tackle pairings in the game. But yeah, the Saints, they're past due. It's time for them just to completely start over.
Just rebuild it. Just blow it up and reconstruct that shit again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is going to be the episode for y'all today, episode 32 in the books. Y'all go ahead and join us next week. A bit of a longer episode. This was good though. Social medias and everything are down below. And it's been me and your boy Kellen, man. We love y'all. We out of this. Peace.
Yeah.